there that he wrote a portion named after a non-Jewish Midianite priest. Isn't it great stuff?
Here's the
You should
the main
document
card.
yourself every week to get it out of your system. Are we doing anything? You want to do Yigdal tonight or not? You don't feel like doing Yigdal? You want to still do Yedid Nefesh then? Do you want to do the...
I don't care about you need that.
Well, what would we do instead?
I'm going to start with you down.
It's usually a concluding. No, I love Yedid Nefesh, but why don't we do the first and third stanzas?
Okay.
You want to try that?
Yeah. As long as you want.
That's the same.
Yeah.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Let me turn on my mic. Okay. Hi, Ronnie. Didn't I just see you a little while ago? Yeah. Let's begin, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. I think we're ready to start. Let me just make sure I have everything here. Shabbat Shalom. It's good to see you all here after a very busy week. Let's begin. Before we have the candles lit, let's begin on page 4, a meditation to get us in the mood for these next 25 hours. May it be your will, our God and God of our ancestors, God who is filled with compassion, that you may be our guide and support on this Shabbat. May we merit to receive Shabbat with great joy and happiness, song and delight. May we celebrate this Shabbat encircled by thoughts of love, of family and friends. Kilat Kodesh, holy community. May the peace of Shabbat protect all whom we hold dear. Guard and save us that no sorrow or pain find us on this Shabbat. No sadness or worry enter our hearts. Let we merit to rejoice with all our strength, with all our heart, all our soul, and all our might on this Shabbat Kodesh, holy Shabbat. Please rise. The candle lighting. We're ready for you. Perfect. Here, I'll take it. Oh, you have to light it. That's right. Forgot. Candles, the lighting just doesn't happen on its own. I know, it's not. There you go. Good, you're strong. Can you get it? Okay. Not yet. There we go. Stubborn. Okay.
Amen.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Perfect. Thanks, Effie. And for our children and grandchildren. You see, Me'ech Elohim, Kasar, Rivka, Rachav, Leah. May God bless our daughters. As God bless Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. Yasimcha Elohim, Gephraim, Menashe. May God bless our sons and grandsons. as Jacob blessed all the sons of Israel from Ephraim and Manasseh. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God protect them, keep them from harm. Yi'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God guide them on paths of love and joy. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. And may God lift them and guide them on paths of Torah. Be good people, proud Jews, and may they be blessed with shalom, with peace. For our children, we love them. Please be seated. Page 10. We're going to begin with Yedid Nefesh and a little twist. We're going to do the first and the third stanzas tonight rather than the first two.
Yedid Nefesh Avarachaman Meshoch Avtach Eretzonah Yaharutz Avdach K'mayam Yishtachavem El Hadarach Ki Yeralo Yedidutah Mino Fetzuf Rechotam Vatik Yehemu Rachamecha V'chusna Bein Amavach Keizecha Nichsof Lirot B'tiferet Uzach Ana Eli Machmad Libi Choshana V'al Tiftalam Yalai 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 Yalai
Page 11, Lechuna Ranana, the first song.
Lechune Ranana, Lechune Ranana, Lechune Ranana, Ladonai. Lechune Ranana, Lechune Ranana, Lechune Ranana, Ladonai. Naria, Naria, Letzur Yishenu Nekadma Plana Betoda. Naria, Naria, Letzur Yishenu Bismirot Naria Lo. Lechune Ranana, Lechune Ranana, Lechune Ranana, Ladonai. Lechune Ranana, Lechune Ranana, Lechune Ranana, Ladonai. Ki El Gadol Anem Chalam Asher
Gadol Elohim Asher B'Yavorei Haaretz V'Tov V'Torim Lo. O Nishtach V'Nivra Nifra V'Noseinu Son Yadom L'Kol Tishma V'Tikshel
Choneni Gamra Ufali.
Choneni Gamra Ufali.
Arba'im Shana Akut Bedor Va'omar Amto Elevavheim V'heim Lo Yadu Derachai Asher Nishpati V'yapi Im Yavon El Menuchati.
Page 13. Shiru Ladonai
Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz Shiru Ladonai Baruch Shemo Basru Miyom Liyom Yeshuato Sapru Vagoyim Kevodo B'chol Ha'amim Nifleotav Ki Gadol Adonai Umehulal Meod Norahu Al Kol Elohim Ya la la Ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la.
I love that nigun. It's so nice. Yismechu Hashemayim, page 14.
Yismechu Hashamayim.
Hashamayim.
Yismechu Hashamayim.
Hashamayim.
Yismechu Hashamayim. V'tagel haaretz. Yismechu Hashamayim.
Hashamayim.
Yismechu Hashamayim.
Hashamayim.
Yismechu Hashamayim. V'tagel haaretz. Yiramayam. 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 Umlo'o. Yiramayam. 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 Umlo'o. Yallo Sadar Azir Kolat Sayar. Lifnei Adonai Kiva, Kiva Lishpat Aretz, Yishpat Tevel B'Tzedek, V'amim Be'emunato.
Page 18, third line, Zambru, Ladonai Bechinor.
Zamru Ladonai Bechinor, Bechinor V'kol Zimra, B'chatzotzrot V'kol Shofar, Hari Livnei HaMelech Adonai, Yiramayam Umlo'o, Tevel V'yoshvei Neharot Yimcha Uchaf Yachad Harim Yeranenu Lifnei Adonai Kiva Lishpot Haaretz Yishpot Tevel B'Tzedek Ve'yamim B'Meisharim Yiramayam Umlo'o Tevel V'yoshvei Neharot Yimcha Uchaf Yachad Harim Yeranenu.
At the top of page 20, in the English translation of the 99th Psalm, let's read together. Moses and Aaron among God's priests, and Samuel among those who call upon the divine name, called to you and you answered them. You spoke to them from amidst the cloud. They kept your covenant and the law you gave them. You answered them, Adonai. You were a forgiving God to them, even as you punished them for their transgressions. Exalt Adonai our God and bow down at God's holy mountain, for Adonai our God is holy. The last three Hebrew lines. Romamu.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lahar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lahar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lahar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lahar kodsho.
Must have been something to have been in the city of Tzfat in the 16th century, because you had the great Rabbi Isaac Luria in his synagogue. If you've ever been there, it's so beautiful. And he would welcome Shabbat with the following, this psalm, 29th Psalm that he recited. And then Shlomo Alkabetz Halevi composed Lachadodi, our next composition, and they had two different traditions running at the same time. And what's the solution? We honor them both. We do them both. Page 21, first Isaac Luria.
Mizmor LeDavid, Avul Adonai ben Elim, Avul Adonai, Kavod va'oz, Avul Adonai, Kevod Shemo Ishtachavul Adonai, B'Hadrat Kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavod hirim, Adonai al mayim rabim, Kol Adonai b'koach, Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vayshaber Adonai et tarzei halvanon, Vayarkidem kemo egel Levanon, Vesiryon kemo, kamo ben re'imim, ay, Kol Adonai chotzev lavotesh, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yicholel hayalot, vayechesof ye'arot uvehechalot, Kulo omer kavod, ay, Adonai, lama habu yeshev Adonai, melech le'olam, Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. Lai, ya, Ya
Lechadodi Shlomo Alkabetz. We welcome Shabbat. Page 23.
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la la la. Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmiyanu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem ultiferet v'litehila, Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha, Ki makor abracha merosh mikedem nesucha, Sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila. Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela.
Page 25, last two stanzas.
Yamin u'smal tifrotzi, V'yet Adonai ta'aritzi, Al yad ish ben partzi, ונשמחה ונגילה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה.
Please be seated. Let's welcome each other. Give each other a Shabbat Shalom. The ones closest to you or far from you, whatever. My man, thank you, Stan. Everything. Shabbat Shalom. Day of peace, health, goodness, kindness, and being together. We're ready now to recite the psalm that was traditionally recited in the Temple of Jerusalem. We always think of the past, our ancestors, reciting the same prayers that we do. Page 27, Psalm for Shabbat. Mizmor Shel Yom HaShabbat.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך העליון,
עלי עשור ולענבל, עלי כן בכינור. למעשה גדול לגדול משפטיך. ברוך השם יגנבזך, שלא ישמע ישראל. כי הנה אויבך אדוני, כי נבח יאבדו, יתפלל יאבן. והקמים עלי מרי תשמענה אוזני. צדיק אתה יפרע, page 28.
צדיק אתה מר יפרח, כי ארז בלבנון יזכה שתולים בבית אדוני בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו עוד ינובון בשיבה דשנים ורעננים יהיו להגיד כי ישר אדוני צורי ולא עוולתה בו.
Page 29.
Adonai malachayut lavesh, lavesh Adonai oshit azar, aftikon tevel baltimot, aftikon tevel baltimot, nachon kisacha meaz, me'olam ata, nasu naharot Adonai, nasu naharot kolam yesu, Naharot Dachyam Mikolot Mayim Rabim Adirim Mishpereyam Adir Bamarom Adonai Adir Bamarom Adonai Edotecha Nemnu Mod Leveitcha Nava Kodesh Adonai Leorech Yamim Adonai Leorech Yamim Mikolot Mayim Rabim Adirim Mishpereyam Adir Bamarom Adonai Adir Bamarom Adonai.
Mourners and those observing outside, here and at home, please rise for the Kaddish, page 30. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Bi'alma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayech on of yomechon, v'chayeh dechol Beit Yisrael, v'agalav v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabban v'rach le'lam l'mel maya. Yipparach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shmei dekudisha brichu. Ve'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechmata, dam yiram bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, uyaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Please be seated. So this Shabbat, we're going to be reading the Aseret HaDibrot, the Ten Commandments, tomorrow, a portion of Yitro. And we're going to run through what I'm going to do tomorrow with you is we're going to see how each of the 10 are linked to each other. The first 5, and then run 6 with 1, and 7 with 2, and 8 with 3. We're going to have a real field day connecting what is one of the marvelous texts, incredible texts in the Torah. And no matter how we feel about revelation and God's role in revelation, it is inexplicable the extent to which the Ten Commandments stands out as perhaps the most unique document ever given to any group of people, any composed in the history of humanity. It's been the basis, it's our Constitution, the basis of everything. And we're going to run through the details of all that tomorrow. But I wanted to show you how interesting it gets after you have the general statements, the 2 words, for example, of the 8th commandment. Says, Al tignov, you shall not steal. So, is that the end of the commentary on that commandment? And I just want to share with you, not all, but at least some of the major ideas that our great rabbis, our sages, left with us. Because it says, do not steal, but what does that mean, do not steal? Well, first of all, the rabbis made a comparison between kidnapping. That was the opening of the argument. In the ancient world, that was a very common thing, to kidnap children, and it still is today. It is estimated that there are 30 million young people, especially girls, who are slaves, been stolen from their families. So it's not such an irrelevant issue that the rabbis raised, and they compared kidnapping, taking of children, right behind murder. It was considered to be so, and that's why they related the commandment of stealing with murder. And then, of course, they talked about confiscating property, taking property. Governments back then used to do the same thing governments today around the world, and that's steal people's possessions and take them. We've lived in the 20th century, perhaps the most government-centered stealing of property in the history of humanity. So the rabbis certainly noted that cannot exist in a free society governed by God's laws. But after discussions of kidnapping and material possessions, what gets very interesting is the rabbis delve into moral and spiritual matters. For example, they then note that one of the great aspects of this 8th commandment is a Jew is not allowed to steal one's reputation. You're not allowed to slander another person. You're not allowed to gossip about another person. That to the rabbis is considered to be libelous and a violation of the 8th commandment, of stealing another's soul. In fact, the rabbis noted that unlike stealing property, material possessions, when you steal someone's spiritual blessing and being, that's worse because you can't make amends. It's gone. It's stolen forever. So very interesting. They considered stealing to be equivalent to busha batzibur. It's a good concept. You're not allowed to embarrass anybody in public for all kinds of things, about the past, about anything taking place. And the rabbis speak of how Parents damage children. Children damage parents. And teachers insult students, and students insult teachers. All of this is under the rubric of you shall not steal. You're not allowed to do that. One's dignity is considered to be the most precious part of what we possess. And stealing certainly comes on that, because this happens every day in the media, where an individual's dignity literally is stolen before our eyes. Charges made. Then there's another layer to this. I'm going to share two more. Gnevat da'at, stealing one's intention or knowledge. And we've all had this, or we've all felt this way. We've gone to a store, and the salesperson is misleading us, wants us to buy something that's really, he's not telling, or she's not telling us the whole truth about a product, with the idea of misleading us so that we'll purchase it. That's called Gnevat da'at, misleading a person. We are not allowed to do that. That's called stealing someone's mind or knowledge, tricking someone into buying something defective. That is a horrible, horrible part of what this commandment prohibits. You shall not steal. Media, fake news have become popular. That's all part of stealing the public soul. That's considered to be an aspect of stealing, when you mislead and do not tell the truth. And then the rabbis, the next layer that they spoke of is corruption of governments, stealing against people, damaging an economy, politics, the morality of the public sector, of leadership, and the importance of leadership not to steal the minds of the people that they're leading. Now, how about that particular aspect being relevant? No matter what our political persuasion, which we know it happens every day, is stealing our souls, not telling us the truth. So that's just a little bit of exploration of how these commandments really were interwoven into the bigger picture of our Jewish values, and so unique that stealing was not just considered to be a material stealing, but a spiritual stealing, a moral stealing. And that's why the rabbi said that this 8th commandment is really the cornerstone of how a society truly can exist. That the reputation of people, the dignity of people, is even more important than the material aspects that we tend to associate. Al tiknov, you shall not steal. So the message for us is, we need to learn the depths of our beautiful sages, of their moral teachings, to be extra kind and extra sensitive. If we're not allowed to steal someone's soul, we have an obligation to build the souls of people around us. That's what this commandment is all about. It's just one of 10, but you can see how important they all are. Tomorrow morning, we'll do more. Shabbat Sholom, everyone. Please rise now for the Baruch Hu on page 39a.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Amavorach.
Baruch Adonai Mvorach Leolam Vahed.
Baruch Adonai Amavorach Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher yivro mori v'ravim. V'chochma p'tei sharim Oreyom v'layla.
Umavir yom umevi laila umavdil ben yom uven laila Adonai tzvaot shemo El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Amari v'aravim.
Amen. Page 40, the gift of Torah, Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha avta Torah u'mitzvot חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, באהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha, u'v'chol me'odecha, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשופך ובקומך וכשאתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. Page 42, the Shema. נתתי מצרתכם ביטול. ישמרו לכם פניכם. ומטר. ושמתם דברי אלה על לבבכם ועל נפשכם ושאתם אותם להיות על ידכם ויותר תבואו ממני ולימדתם אותם את בניכם מדברת משפטים ואני בימיהם ודבר שלום וזרם לכם בשמם הארץ ויאמר אדוני משה לאמור דבר על זה ויאמרת להם בסולם ציצית וראיתם אותו זכרתי כל מצוותיי ועשיתם אותם למען תזכרו ועשיתם כל מצוותיי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
מי כמוך, page 44.
יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה 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 Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef ele, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, malchutecha, rauvanecha, bokei hayam, lifnei Moshe, ze Elianu v'yamru, Adonai imloch leolam va'ed. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, v'ne'emar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov ugalo miyad chazak mimenu. Ya la 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 la, 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 Ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai
Shmo.
Gaal Yisrael.
Page 45, the prayer for peace. And of course, this beautiful liturgical piece, as I shared with the congregation again, speaks of the fragility of peace compared to a sukkah, the fragile sukkah. You imagine the worshipers in Texas. They were there in synagogue Friday night. It looked like everything was just fine. And look how their world turned upside down just the next day. So we never, ever take for granted the blessing of shalom. Every minute we have it, there's no greater gift. And so let's, as we think of what happened last Shabbat, let's pray for us and all of our people all over the world on this Shabbat, and certainly all humanity as well. Allow us together, allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel, and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, swords, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you, God, watch over and deliver us. And you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Share our going and coming for life and peace, now and forever. You spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people of Israel, and over Yerushalayim.
Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom. Aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim, v'al Yerushalayim, v'al Yerushalayim. Amen.
Please rise. We sing in praise of our gift of Shabbat. V'shamru, page 46.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם, עוד היא לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Chatzi Kaddish on page 46, followed by our silent Amidah through page 52.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
יעמד דברך קירתי וימלך מלכותי. בחייכון ובימיכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. bagala bagala uvisman karim v'yimaru amen. Yesh me'rabba mevarach v'olam lo me'omaya
Yitbarach.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shmei dekudesha barechu leila min kol rechata v'shirata tushvechata v'nechemata damiran b'yoma v'yimaru amen. Ya la 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 Adonai. Ya la 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 sfatai tiftach. Ya la 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 ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Ya la 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 Adonai. Ya la 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 sfatai tiftach. Ya la 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 ufi yagid tehilatecha.
וישפוט ביום השביעי אשר עשה. עוד ימנה גדולה שתלת. ברוך אתה הטוב שבעולם. שלום רב.
Page 53, top of the page. Vayachulu Hashemayim.
Vayachulu Hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzevam vayechal Elohim bayom hashvi malachto asher asa vayishbot bayom hashvi mikol malachto asher asa Vayavarech Elohim et Yom HaShvi Vayakadesh oto Kivo Shabbat mikol malachto Kivo Shabbat mikol malachto Asher bara Elohim Asher bara Elohim lasot Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Agadol Agibor Vanora El Elyon Konei Shamayim Varetz Magen Avot Bidvaro Mechayim Eitim B'mamaro Ha'el HaKadosh Kamo Hameniach Li'amo B'yom Shabbat Kodsho Kivam Ratza Lahaniach Lahem Kivam Ratza Lahaniach Lahem Lefanav Navod B'yirav V'achad V'nodeh Lishmo B'chol Yom Tamid Me'on HaBrachot El HaOdot Adon HaShalom Mekadesh HaShabbat U'marech Shavim U'meniach B'kedusha Le'yamidu Shnei Onen Zecher L'maaseh Bereshit Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Ritzei b'mnuchatenu Kadeshenu b'mitzvotecha V'tein chelkeinu b'toratecha Sabeinu mituvecha V'samcheinu b'shuatecha V'taher libeinu, v'taher libeinu V'taher libeinu li'avdecha b'emet V'hanchi leinu Adonai Eloheinu V'yava uvratzon Shabbat kodshecha V'yanuchu v'Yisrael Makadeshei shemecha Baruch atah Adonai
Baruch Shemo.
Makadesh HaShabbat
Amen. Kaddish Shalem, page 54.
Yit Gadal v'Yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah
Amen.
V'yalma derech yirteh v'yamlich malchuteh V'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayedecho Beit Yisrael V'agalav v'zman kariv v'yimeru
Amen.
Yesh
me Rabba Mevarach, Yalam lo me'almaya. Yitbarach.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudisha
Brichu.
Leila min kol rechata v'shirata tishwata v'nechamata damiran b'alma v'yimeru
Amen.
Tidkabal tzloton avutan v'chol Yisrael kadam avon divishmaya v'yimeru
Amen.
Yesh lama rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimeru
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mroma v'uyaseh shalom Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimeru
Amen. Please rise for the Kiddush, page 55.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu v'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'yahava uvratzon inchilanu v'zikaron l'maaseh bereshit Ki hu yom techila l'mikrei kodesh zecher litziat Mitzrayim
Kivanu v'acharta
V'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'yahava u'ratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. Share with me. One of these days we'll be able to do it. Here, take. Please remain standing for Aleinu, page 56.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tet gedula liyotzeh breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol amonam, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ מושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל תוזו שכינתו בגבי מרומים הוא אלוהינו אינו אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו ככתוב בתורתו וידעת היום להשיבות אל לבביך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד על כן נקבל אחרינו הביגל יכיר בי הכל ישראל פנחנו נרחו ויקבלו כולם את המלך תחת המלך עליהם מהר עליהם ועד כי המלכות שלך היא ולעולמי תמלוך בכבוד ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Please be seated, everyone. I know Gloria Biberman is with us on stream, and last week she was not able to note that we certainly noted that her husband, Leonard Biberman, of blessed memory, passed away. So, Gloria, with your family, we remember Leonard. We also remember the yard sites observed this week of Jeanette Katz, Alastair Brand, Sarah G. Engert, Bertram Bernstein, Keith Dessenberg, Minna Edlin, Milton Ellerin, Fanny Wolf, Arthur Bloomberg, Ethel Pusnick, Florence Bernstein, Eugene Green, Sam Garbus, George Freund, Alfred Lapidus, Alan Lichtenstein, Sylvia Tract, Caroline Levine, Sarah Miller, Georgette Nahon, Jacqueline Jackie Prohovsky Horowitz, Lillian Prohovsky Jaffe, Oscar Brodenstein, Gertrude Bodenstein, Martin Roth, Carl Rothman, Louis Waynick, Sonia Ginsberg, Jenny Matlow, Esther Lieberman Stuhlberg, Anna Wintermitz, Abraham Ditkoff, Pincus Halpern, Judge Marvin E. Silverman, Ernesto Glogauer, Erwin Losch, Gerhard Singer, and Irene Wright, all of blessed memory and always remembered. So those remembering yard sites and those in mourning, here and at home, We rise for the Mourner's Kaddish, page 58, in their memory, with love. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemir rabbah, bi'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon of yomechon, v'chayet echol beit Yisrael, b'agalav yisman kariv v'imru amen. Yehesh me'er rabbah mevrach le'lam l'mel maya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach, Yitbar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, Shmei Kudusha Rechu, Leila min kol bechata v'shirata, Tushbachata v'nechemata, Damiran b'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shmaya, V'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mrumav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Live forever in our memories. Please be seated. Frank Podetz with the announcements for this week. Pleasure to introduce you. Sure, why not? Now, when you're done, when you're all finished with the...
Thank you, Stan. Evie, Stan, and Rabbi, thank you for a wonderful service this evening. And for those of you on stream, may join all of us and here in the congregation thanking you both, and Evie as well. The Bima baskets were sponsored this week by Deborah Bortnick, celebrating her 70th birthday, and Sandy Kliegman in honor of the engagement of her granddaughter, Dr. Samantha Sanders, to Michael Gleason, and by Michael Krasnov in honor of his wife, Carol. This week we have a special program coming up next Haftarah after Shabbos next week for new and prospective members. So please register for that service. Again, it's after the end of Shabbat, next January 29th. Join us next weekend for the Scholar in Residence Weekend with Alan Modoza. That will be January 28th to 30th. For the Shabbat program, there's more details in the program that you can find out about next week's special Scholar in Residence program. It's not too late to sign up for the Pisman concert, which is coming up in early February. And please, again, look at the e-blast as well as the program announcement, which has many other important announcements that you might be interested in, as well as classes. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you. And I think it would be appropriate to sing happy birthday to your young bride, Michael, Carol. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet also Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. Are we indicating another birthday? Mara? Yom Huledet Sameach. I didn't know. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. Myra and Carol, happy birthday. Very good. Next week's going to be very special, so I hope you all make plans to come. The world is a very confused place. Alan Mendoza, you've got to hear what he has to say. You must be here. Just whatever you're doing, be here. Take advantage. He's coming a long way to be with us. He meets with senators and congressmen and parliamentary officers and prime ministers and Israeli officials. He'll tell you what's going on. Let's conclude. Shalom Aleichem, page 73.
Ya la la ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Asharet Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Bo Achem L'Shalom Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. La 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Barchuni l'shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Shabbat Shalom.
Adonai Oz li'amo yitain Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. May God give us all strength through our wonderful tradition, the beauty of Shabbat, and may we all be blessed with health and peace. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Pleasure. Thank you, Stan. Thank you, thank you. Who's leading? Yeah, you're Shacharim. No. We're skipping. You really want? Thanks, Frank. And Don's back with Musaf. Good. Okay. But I see Kenner Newman's doing the Torah service. So 3.
It was supposed to be Audrey Avery, so.
Oh.
So we made an adjustment.
All right. Whatever works. Whatever works. It's just
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing. Yeah.